Hello, my name is Kathleen Irwin, and I am the co-coordinator, along with Jesse Archibald Barber, of the conference entitled Performing Turtle Island, Deconstructing Identities, at the University of Regina. Its dates are September 17th to 19th, 2015. Here are the themes. Looking landward rather than seaward, there are tropes that resonate deeply with Indigenous people on the Canadian plains. Loss of memory, language, and loved ones, the trauma of broken body and spirit, the processes of slow healing, the certain knowledge that vessels from afar, both real and abstract, have transported cargo that manifest a violent hegemony. This conference positions at its center the notions of those who live on Turtle Island within the ideational borders that designate Canada, plumb the depths of the processes of knowing and unknowing in performative and embodied ways. Indeed, these issues, central to the work of many of our most prolific playwrights, are what we are focusing on. Situating much of this body of work between European and Indigenous traditions raises the ethical problem of using Western theoretical approaches to interpret Indigenous literatures, in essence another form of colonization. Thus, while considering the development of First Nations drama in Canada, the conference will also take up the question of what distinguishes First Nations from the broader fields of Western drama and styles of performance. Is it primarily Indigenous content that makes these plays Aboriginal, or are there formal differences that are distinctly Indigenous? For Aboriginal playwrights, the use of mythic figures and spiritual traditions provides a way of interpreting social concerns from Indigenous perspectives. It is by a process of indigenizing that Aboriginal dramatists enact a critical knowing of Western performance conventions to restore a sense of knowing Aboriginal traditions to their plays. The central question that the conference takes up in the form of a national symposium of Canadian Indigenous playwrights, scholars, and artists is unknowing. Included in this is the notion of trans-identity, what it means to signify across a range of identificatory practices. This is what drives Performing Turtle Island, Deconstructing Identities. The questions that guide this event include: what is the idea of performativity? What are the performative acts from an Indigenous perspective? What does it mean to be Indigenous? How do Indigenous performative acts relate to the story of consciousness in Canada?